This is B coming to you from G&A today. And I want to take this opportunity to talk to you for a little bit about the election of 2016, which is coming up in just a few weeks now. In this video, I will not be calling anybody names, and I will act cordially as I deal with the issues today. I know there are plenty of people who love guns, who like guns, who collect guns, and who understand the importance of guns in the American culture today who are politically liberal. Now, when I say liberal today, I do not mean it in a derogatory way. I looked it up on the internet, and that's the best way I could think to describe that type of a political viewpoint. I know people in my own life who are politically liberal and who like guns. I know I've seen lots of people on YouTube, and I know there'll be people who watch this video who are politically liberal who like guns. So the natural option for a politically liberal person today is Hillary Clinton. And what I want to do today is I want to reason with you based on the Second Amendment. I know Clinton is on the record very recently saying that she supports the Second Amendment. But I think any fair-minded person listening to her say that realizes that she's saying that just because of votes at this point. And I'm not just singling her out. Any politician would do the same thing. And I can't read people's hearts and I can't read their minds, so I'm not going to ascribe any motivation to her viewpoint on the Second Amendment. But I think it's pretty clear that she would love the ability to drastically change the gun laws in America today. But as we think about the Second Amendment, I know there's books written on how to interpret just those few words that were written a couple of hundred years ago. And I'm not a linguist, I'm not a literary critic or any of that type of stuff. So I'm not going to jump into the meaning of all of those words, but I do know two things about the Second Amendment. It mentions arms, which we know means firearms, means guns, and it talks about freedom. The Second Amendment is about guns and about freedom. So the Second Amendment guarantees the right to its citizens of the United States that we can own guns. It gives us the physical right to own guns, and that right should not be infringed. But really the Second Amendment is more than just the physical right to own guns. It's also about the mindset that we should keep our country free. If you think about the situation that our founding fathers came from, they came from an oppressive government that told the people what they would do, how they would do it, and when they would do it. And our founding fathers came from that mindset. And they wanted to ensure that we as Americans stayed free from one man sitting up over us and telling us how things would be. If you start to limit the physical right to own guns, you're also going to start limiting the mindset that we should be free people. And we need to keep that freedom and to not grow lazy and to grow dull in our thinking and just allow things to just start happening. But we need to stay sharp and we need to stay ready and focused to keep our freedom. And the Second Amendment is at the forefront of that idea. I'm not saying that Hillary Clinton is the type of person, though, who would want to just take over this country. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if she is elected, she would change the gun laws of this country. And it will happen. And she is going to start limiting our Second Amendment rights. And as she limits those Second Amendment rights, those physical rights, she's also going to start limiting the mindset that we have about staying free. And she may unknowingly start setting up things so that it would make it easier 50 years or 100 years now for somebody to say, you know what? I'm tired of fighting the battle. Let's just overthrow them and just tell them what we want them to do. Think about that in your life. Think about all the things in your life where you have to fight and fight and fight to get your way. What if you could just be like the mafia and you walk up to somebody and you tell somebody to do something and they say, no, we're not going to, and then two guys step up behind you with guns and then that other person says, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, I was wrong about that. I'll do what you want. Now just think about that from the government's perspective. What if a government had that same mindset? Where they said, you know what? We're tired of having to fight all these people for us to finally get this the way we want it. You know what? Just forget that. Let's just go in with our guns to these people who don't have guns, start pointing them at their heads and say, you know what? You're going to do this. And there are governments in the world that do that today. And people know if we speak up, if we say something they don't like, headed to the hangman's noose. Do you think any person would be dumb enough to take office next year and say, you know what? No more guns for anybody. Nobody else can buy a gun. And everybody take your guns and turn them in at your local police station. Do you think anybody would be dumb enough to try that? No. Because if they did that, it would be a 100% guarantee that there would be anarchy and civil war. There is no question. If they told us no more guns and you turn all your guns in, there will be civil war, I assure you. So there's no politician that's dumb enough to do that. They all know that. They understand that. So they're never going to completely take away our Second Amendment right like that. It's going to be chipping away here and chipping away there and taking this and taking that until they eventually get down to the point where we're so neutered that then it's easy. They can go in and just finish the job up with just a little bit of effort. That's how it's going to happen. And I truly believe, and I think it's easy for anybody to look at Clinton's stance on guns and on the Second Amendment, that she wants to speed up that process of changing our gun laws and limiting our Second Amendment rights. So I'm pleading with you as a politically liberal person today, you consider your options. Remember how important the Second Amendment is. Remember what it means to our freedom as Americans. And as you go to vote, if you're early voting or if you're going to go on the day of the official vote, please consider that and remember how important that issue is. This is B coming to you from GNA today. I hope, wish, and mostly pray for the best of this country. Thanks for watching today.